Are you a speaker? Are you a speaker who was so used to speaking on live stages that when the pandemic came upon us, you were like, what am I going to do now? Well, guess what? If that is you, I'm glad you're checking us out today, because I have an authority on the speaking business. You know, for a while, I, who have been speaking for a while now, have been admiring someone. And it's interesting because last year I posted something on Facebook about my guest today. And so you could imagine how honored I am that a year later I have her here to interview her, and she is going to be sharing her experience and her knowledge with all of us at the 2020 Virtual Bizniversity Speakers Growth Summit on October 29th. So it is my great honor and it is my extreme joy to introduce you to someone who perhaps needs no introduction, someone who I admire, someone who I consider the authority on booking your speaking engagements and really doing well in the speaking business. Please help me welcome Lois Kramer.
Thanks, Evie. How nice. I appreciate your kind words. And I'm thrilled to be here. And I'm really excited about your event, which is coming up pretty soon.
Yes, yes, yes. And, you know, why don't we start by you telling us a little bit about you and your experience for those few people who are either new to the industry or who have been under a rock?
Well, I don't know about that, but I have a very niche business, Evie. I've been in business 21 years, which I can't even believe, quite frankly. In 1998, I started this very niche business working with professional speakers who want to book more business, make more money, and monetize their message. And I came from a corporate background. I worked for a Fortune 10 corporation in sales and marketing right out of college. And had some great opportunity there, got some great training in sales and marketing, and then stayed home for a number of years. My husband and I adopted a little girl, and I wanted to be home for her. Then I got a great opportunity. I got a call from a professional speaker here in St. Louis, and I did not even know speaking was an industry. I had never even thought about it. And he was looking for someone to essentially run his business for him, the business side of speaking. So we talked, and I started working part-time while my daughter was in school. And we had some great success, and I really enjoyed it. And National Speakers Association, my trade group, asked me to speak at a few conventions to people who work with professional speakers. And as I did that, I started wondering, I wonder if there's a business in this for me. So, Evie, I sat down at my high-tech compact computer, a name from the past, and I wrote a business manual. I thought, what do I have to say after my years doing this? And it turned out I had more than I thought, quite frankly. And so I kind of announced I was in business and got some business right away from some people I had met from NSA National. And I just have been very fortunate along the way. I absolutely love what I do. As I only speak now to groups of professional speakers. I used to do some corporate sales programs for corporate sales teams. But now all I do is speak to professional speakers and consult with professional speakers.
That is awesome. And let me ask you something for some who may be curious. Who are some of the, can you say who are some of the people that you've worked with?
Yes. You know, that's interesting you put it that way, because there are some who ask me not to share, which of course is fine with me.
I know, because people ask me not to say when I help them out.
Yes.
So I understand. That's why I ask, can you?
I'm always happy to announce who I'm working with and who's helping me. You know, I'm a consultant who uses consultants, by the way. Yes. I think you have no credibility if you aren't reaching out to grow yourself. But I had a great opportunity, Evie, early in my business to be hired by Jack Canfield of Chicken Soup. His VP of business development was in one of my programs that I did at NSA. And she said, you need to hire this person. So probably about 6 weeks after I presented. I was out in Santa Barbara working, doing a 2-day program with him. It was a great experience, as you can imagine. And he's been very good to me. And I've worked with also Jeffrey Gitomer. Many of you may know him. He wrote the Sales Bible, along with several other New York Times bestsellers. And I've also worked with a lot of people whose names you would never recognize, but who are doing really well in the speaking business.
That is great. And, I love that you mentioned those two because, those are two whose books I've consumed. I've loved. I met Jack Canfield a while ago. I took a picture with him. I don't ever know what I did with that picture. And of course, I followed Jeffrey for many, many years when he was doing the business journals.
Yes.
So I am like, wow, I just think you're just amazing. And you've had an amazing experience working with some amazing, well-known people.
It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun.
I could imagine. Now, I'd like to know from your perspective, what's going on in the speaking industry right now after, this pandemic hit us? What is your insider information? What do you see going on? And now and in the future?
Well, this has caused just an absolute shift in the speaking business, the pandemic. When the country shut down, the meetings industry and hospitality industry shut down, as you know. And so a lot of speakers were left with a lot of canceled engagements. And little did we dream that it would be September and October. We would still be in our homes working. Of course, I've always worked in my home, but in my home office. But it's just a cataclysmic shift. And it's caused speakers to have to go online with their intellectual property. And so you need to be able to make a shift to virtual. A lot of us had to learn technology really fast.
Yes.
And a lot of us were looking at different ways we could leverage our IP online instead of just counting on in-person events. And my sense has been that this has been a positive in many ways because it gives speakers really just another vehicle to drive their expertise and create another revenue stream, hopefully, for speakers. But
absolutely.
Yeah. So that's what's changed. I do think that when the events industry comes back, and it will, I don't know when, but it will, that virtual is going to have a big place in the market from now on. And I think that's a net positive for speakers.
I love it. And you know what? That's one of the reasons why I'm so delighted to have you here and to have you join us at the Speakers Growth Summit, because I think that you're a great example of how you've been repositioning yourself. And I know that you're going to be talking during our event about something new that you are launching and that you have. And I just think that you're such a great example. And I think that, well, maybe even of some people that are hesitant because maybe they're afraid, because maybe they thought, oh, you know what, I just have a little website and that's as far as I go on the internet, right? Do you know people like that?
Absolutely. We both know people like that.
Yes. And, it's sad because some people are really hurting, right?
Yes, absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Because they have not done what you have done, which is to really, really reposition yourself and really thought, and I love that you said multiple streams of income. And I love that you said also that the industry will come back. So isn't it great? And you even said this has been a good thing because it's made you move forward faster with what you know will be the future. And so when things come back, you will now be able to have these live events and still experience the great joy that I've been experiencing for a while when your phone does a little sound saying, hey, you made some money online while you were sleeping or while you were having dinner. And we're not going to dive deep into that because I know you're going to talk about that at the Bizniversity Speakers Growth Summit. But I want to congratulate you. And I want those that are kind of still saying, well, what do I do? What do I do? There is a lot you can do.
Yeah.
And really, in your experience, because you're going through this now, is it anything to be afraid of in terms of the technology?
Absolutely. I'm scared to death. Listen, here is honestly my answer from this gray hair, okay? I am not a techie, but even I have made myself become more familiar with some online programs. And I have spent the last few months learning some new technologies, learning some new platforms, adding them to my business. And I am not a techie, Evie. People who know me well will tell you that I'm not a techie. And my experience is proof you don't have to be. Now, I'll hire somebody to help me learn something if I need to, but I've had more time than usual in the last few months. So I have been doing a lot of tutorials, some courses, and my favorite, YouTube, searching for how to. That's my secret. Google and YouTube. Don't share that with anybody outside.
I love that. I love that. And thank you for being honest, because you caught me by surprise. I was not expecting you to say that, but that is so cool because that's real. And I love it. And
listen,
I can relate to that. Now, I want to ask you about perhaps some of the myth or maybe some of the tips that you are planning to share. Can you give us a slight tasting of what you're going to share with us without really giving us much, but a slight little tasting of what you're going to be sharing with us at the Bizniversity Speakers Growth Summit?
Absolutely. And I'm looking forward to sharing the biggest gift you can give your business. Whether you're a speaker, a consultant, you have online platforms, I'm going to share the biggest secret to being able to engender interest in what you do. And it's creating what I call a positioning statement, which is kind of what I've hung my hat on for 21 years. It's one of the first things I do with my clients when I work with people. And it can make your job so much easier when you are doing outreach and looking for prospects and clients. And I'm also going to share who is the person who hires you. When I am looking for a speaking engagement, who should I be talking to? And I will give you the names of the most likely suspects, Evie, because some of this changes, but there are some pretty basic ideas built around this. And my clients will tell you, I'm going to give you the best starting place that you can do. So we're going to be talking about positioning, and we're going to be talking about decision makers, and we're going to be talking a little bit about selling. And you and I just referred to the multiple ways, the multiple platforms, and how to leverage your expertise using a number of vehicles, because that's what success in the speaking industry really is not just speaking. Back in the 80s, which was before I was involved in speaking, even though my hair is gray, people made a living lots of times just flying from speech to speech to speech. And it's not a good way to make a living. And I don't even think you can anymore, quite frankly. So how do I monetize, take that one message and not reinvent myself every day? How can I put that in a number of platforms that become income streams into my business? And I think makes your business more fun to do.
Oh, I like that. I like it that it makes it more fun.
Absolutely.
Lois, as you were talking, it sounds like you're going to give us some insider strategies.
Do not share with everybody.
Yes, I think that's what's going to be. So before we end today, this interview, because I do have a great offer for people who are checking us out today. Do you have any last words of encouragement or wisdom, if you will, for those that are still kind of right there, they're being challenged and they're still kind of like frozen, still saying, oh, you know, I'm just going to use the little money that I saved up, if hopefully they were, or I'm just going to do a few little things here because I'm still hoping everything's going to go back to normal. What are some of your words of encouragement or wisdom, whatever, some of your words that you can leave us with?
Well, you know, I think events like yours are opportunities for us to up our game. And that's exactly what you have to be doing right now if you want to be relevant. And to me, I think that lots of times fear comes with change. But my sense has always been that the only constant we have in our lives and businesses is change. And we have to be adaptable to it.
Yes.
And so I think any opportunity you have to gain insights, wisdoms, tips, techniques, ideas, and strategies about how to grow your business during challenging times, which is where we are right now, I think you ought to take advantage of it. You know, I always say, Evie, if you're not learning, if you're not in learning mode, you're either standing still or you're falling behind. And neither one of those things are good places to be.
That is so true. Well, Lois, I love your wisdom, and I think you're funny, and I love your delivery. I enjoy speaking with you. And I just want to let everyone know who's either here on the live or on the replay that today you have an opportunity to be able to join us during networking and also in the VIP lounge with Lois and the rest of the speakers by getting your VIP Plus Pass today. And the VIP Plus Pass today with a special code, and here it is, write this down, EB50. And I know you're going to think that that's for my name, but it actually stands for Early Bird 50.
There you
With
go.
that code, you're going to get an amazing deal to be a VIP Plus Pass holder, which means you're going to get our swag bag. We have a virtual swag bag that we're putting together for you, something new that we've never done before. We have some networking. We have a VIP lounge, and also you get 3 months of all our live upcoming Bizniversity courses for November, December, and January 2021, which makes the VIP Plus Pass practically free. So I hope you use the code EB for Early Bird 50 for your amazing discount. And of course, I hope that you're going to join Lois Kramer, myself, along with an amazing lineup of speakers that I've been able to attract of this caliber, that you will come join us, because we want to make sure that you still make 2020 a profitable and successful year for your business. So I want to say thank you, Lois, for joining us. Thank you for you who are watching. We are looking forward to having you on Thursday, October 29th at the Bizniversity Speakers Growth Summit. For now, this is Evie Hernandez, your strategic growth speaker at Bizniversity.com, wishing you lots of prosperity and looking forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.